Well, we knew snow was a possibility for this game, and the weather was happy to oblige with a nice layer of white over Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium, and we got more snow on the way. Tonight on this fine Thursday night, we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Minnesota Vikings taking on the Miami Dolphins. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. Here is Tua Tagovailoa heading out to lead this Miami offense.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100 plus the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses.
It'll go as a loss of 3 right away, and it's second down.
Well, how about the big guy there showing some agility? He just flowed from his D-tackle position in order to make that play.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. H in here, they stay on the ground. They'll wind up losing 3.
You can bet they're not going to go away from the running game anytime soon, but this is obviously not a good start. 2 carries, 2 runs, both stopped for a loss.
I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, it's Tua. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Now fair catch is called for and taken at the, we'll call it the 37-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
I tell you what, when he is on schedule for that week, secondaries take notice because you've got to stay alert back there on every snap. A truly powerful arm, one that's capable of challenging any level of the defense on any given play. That's why so many scouts preach arm talent when preparing for the NFL draft. The quarterback with arm strength to make every throw in the book, he's an asset to have in any offense.
16 yards right off the bat and a first down. Veteran running back like him, we've seen a lot of those chunk carries in his career.
And that's why you don't just look at his birth certificate and decide when a guy is done, right? Because you know as well as I do, in this league, as soon as you hit 30, they're looking to let you go if you're a running back. Sometimes there's a little tread left on the tires.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
Here's 2nd and 10. To the air with McCarthy. Powering forward. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That'll leave him with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there.
Let's go.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And fights through one man. And room there to work it inside the 25. Give him 10 yards on the pickup. And that'll bring up a 2nd and just about a few inches here. Now McCarthy. That'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Here we go now on 1st and goal. Throwing is McCarthy. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson from 3 yards out. And the Vikings put the night's first points on the board as they take the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
The point after, no gimme in the snow, but it's up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Pressure coming from the Vikings. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. So now after the sack, Tua and the Dolphins staring at a 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Under pressure, they got it. Jonathan Allen, the former first-round pick, getting in there to bring him down. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll just punch it out of there, and it's not a great kick. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. 36 yards on the punt with no return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Looking to throw McCarthy. That's down the field for Jefferson. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Miami's offense set and ready to go. But the good news for them, they got the football. The bad news, they have to go 99 yards here as they start this drive out on their own 1-yard line. After the turnover, it's Tua. And he's not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety.
You got to check this out, because while they rightly congregate around the guy who just made the play on field, take a look at the sideline, because they all went over to congratulate their punter, because they remember it was his kick that set them up so close to the end zone and gave them an opportunity to get the safety that we just saw to add to their lead. That's teamwork right there. Full complementary football, and they got it done.
Now the free kick comes after the safety from the 20 as they bring the punter on to try and get some hang time here.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. Here's McCarthy. He gets it to Addison. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down. He's been the forgotten man in this first half. Not a guy you want to forget. Not only his first catch, first time they've targeted him.
That doesn't make any sense, does it?
Not
because those are the types of plays that he provides. When he does come alive, when they do look his way, not only is it a big catch, it's a first down.
He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And now they're in the hurry-up.
Gain of 16 yards. And the Vikings first down.
McCarthy off the play fake. Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Stopped by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Dolphins are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Now he'll tuck this and run. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
That's good for a Dolphins first down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Play action. Now it's Tua. Well, the pressure gets there. And Tua's going to be taken down. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. Tua going to throw. And he's going to go down again. Getting the sack. But Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Open man is Waddle, complete. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop the clock with 24 seconds to go in this first half. Jake Bailey on now to punt here on 4th down. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. And where the ball is now, you got the field goal pretty much in the bag. Now do you try for the end zone a couple of times?
I don't think there's any question about it. You might get a gift of 6 points rather than the 3 that you just noted that you feel like you already have. Be aggressive, go after it, and try and get those points.
Try to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This is caught. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the 3, 2nd and a yard. Back to throw. McCarthy. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Vikings will extend their lead here just before halftime. Kevin O'Connell choosing to leave his guys out there, and they'll go for 2. McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful. And that bumps their lead up even further.
Dolphins nothing. Will Reichert to kick off for the Vikings.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. Short throw going to be caught by Waller. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him up to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
So halftime is upon us on Thursday night primetime, and we go off to Orlando. And Scott Hansen for our halftime report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone. Scott Hansen in Orlando, where I promise you the weather is much nicer than what we've been watching. But who doesn't love a snow globe game? And the meteorologists tell us we're in for more of it in the second half. So time now to get back out and join our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Scott, thank you. And you see it there, whiteout conditions remaining in effect as we are back for the second half. This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Fights through him. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 66 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
All right, I've got to be careful here, all right? He's on the plus side of 30. There may be a little gray in the beard, but that's not slowing down his speed as far as he's concerned.
What he's saying, I'm on the plus side of 30.
Well, if you're on the plus side of 30, you don't know what I'm on the plus side of. All I know is that run right there let us know there's still some life in those legs.
Absolutely, still got a lot of life left in those legs. So they move from 136 over to the other as they come up on first down. Again, it's Jones. Room here to run. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. That's now a pair of explosive plays in succession, both north of 20 yards. They've done a pretty good job containing him up until this drive, and until that run, there was no containing him at all.
Yeah, you're right about that. He finally popped free. But we didn't have to be in their practice sessions. We didn't have to be in their meeting rooms. They planned for a run like that to happen, maybe a couple of them. But what did they tell their guys all week? You know what they said. Move on to the next play. That one just happened. Let it go.
On play action, McCarthy. And it's caught. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. T.J. Hawkinson, a 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Now the extra point try forthcoming. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. drive starts with a run from H.M. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
At the 21-yard line.
Ready.
A give left side. Here's H.M. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. That second down play nets a -4.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
40.
Here's Tua. Throw left side, taken in by Hill. And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Well, a nice return that time, gets 12 yards back. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. And the football going back to the Vikings offense. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
And nearly another interception. Well, it would have been his 3rd of the game, but this time he couldn't hang on. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it, but couldn't pull it in. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. McCarthy. Working the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have the Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
Going underneath, he's got Hawkinson. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter of play. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's the Vikings in possession of the football and the lead. They'll be looking to add to that total as we begin quarter number 4. Now a 2nd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And down inside the 15 he goes. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. There's Hawkinson in the end zone. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Vikings start to open this lead even wider here in the 4th. Try forthcoming. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was T.J. Hawkinson who finished the drive with a touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Here's H.M. to start the drive. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Hill going to go in motion right. On play action. Here's Tua. Tua hit, and the ball is out. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the fourth quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Minnesota's offense takes over possession, and they have to be feeling pretty good. Comfortable fourth quarter lead as they take over following the fumble recovery. Following the fumble recovery, McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, the coaches come into a game preaching total team effort. CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
No going for two. They'll kick the point after. Point after, right down the middle. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
Dolphins, nothing. Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Mekhi Blackman gets in for the tackle. Another carry, same story. Fourth quarter, and he is in red numbers right now with a running game.
Hard to believe because you figure at some point you break off a run. But in this case, what we're seeing is just pure domination by the defense. I think it started with the scouting report. They got into what they were doing offensively, into their mindset, and now they're beating them to the punch on every snap.
And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. A third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. This one thrown underneath to H.M. And he'll go down to the ground at the 39, and obviously that's well short of the first. 5 yards, not enough, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Price now, the return. And just a 30-yard punt that time. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense had Aaron Jones headed back onto the field. And he has put in a full game's work and then some. Just an incredible performance on the ground to this point in the 4th quarter. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. But they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard. But they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. Another 1st down, this time on a gain of 19. Well, this one probably not the close game you would expect or hope to see in prime time, CD. But, of course, that wasn't their intent in preparing for this one. They said they felt like their offense was ready to put up some points. And, my goodness, it has been a dominant display in front of a national audience.
Yeah, they thought it, and it certainly came to fruition, didn't it? They've been dominant in so many ways in this one. If you weren't paying attention to this group before, you certainly are now after seeing this type of victory from them.
1st and goal at the 4-yard line.
Hey! 60 Bison, 60 Bison. Ready?
And they'll indeed take a knee. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was that they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, up a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gunn. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.